Right, guys, Tottenham have just beaten Brighton by a goal to nil. And I think it's an impressive performance by Tottenham because they went for a different start today. Antonio Conte set them up differently, playing a 3-5-2 formation as opposed to a 3-4-3. So effectively bringing in Yves Bissouma for someone like Richarlison or Kulusevski. It's been Richarlison lately, so Bissouma came into the midfield. And he's only actually had the one start before this game, so it was a little bit of a risk, as well as him feeling like not like a point to prove sort of thing, but him maybe wanting to get one over his old team. Like, you never want to go back to your old team at their stadium and lose, especially when you've joined a supposedly bigger team, a team in the Champions League. So yeah, Bissouma would have been fired up for it. But I think Brighton on the night got the tactics slightly wrong, because I feel to have a fighting chance of beating Tottenham, you have to have a good start to the game. You have to put them under immediate pressure. You can't let them get the ball and then create chances and get their goal and then sit back and frustrate you. That's what Tottenham want to do. They want to frustrate their opponents. And let the opponents have the ball, do whatever they want with it, but just don't score. And so that's what happened in the game. Brighton didn't start the game quick enough. They didn't create many chances in the first half an hour of the game, whereas Spurs did. They were creating chances. Doherty had a good chance. Son had a chance, and the goal from Kane. Son, it came from a corner. The ball being headed out to Højbjerg playing a really intelligent pass to Heung-min Son. And then Son cuts inside, and Kane, if you look at what Kane does, he's in an offside position, but what he does is he scans all the defenders around him in the area and assesses the situation and decides that they're going to run back to where he is. So what he does is he waits for them to come back, and then he sort of holds his position and just takes a step, so he's definitely onside. And then when Son does take the shot off, what Son does is he tries to use, I think it was Purvis Estupiñán, as a sort of like a mannequin to bend the ball around, and it's looking like it might be Robert Sanchez in the Brighton net and just like curl into the left hand side of the goal. But what Harry Kane does is he scores a goal. You know that. He scores a goal in which I feel as though has come from experience. So of him, I don't think he scores this goal 5 years ago, because it's a very instinctive finish. He realises that with how close Son is to the goal, if he gets any sort of touch on it, the chances are, as long as he keeps it on target, he's going to wrong foot Sanchez and the ball's going to go into the back of the net, and that's what it does. So it was a goal that came from just match experience from Harry Kane, I personally believe. I definitely don't think he scores that, or is smart enough to score that a few years ago. It's something that comes with experience of just playing games in the highest level of football, which is the Premier League. And yeah, Tottenham from then on, they got put under a bit of pressure at times. There were spells throughout the game where it looked like Brighton were causing a lot of problems. Towards the end of the first half, Lewis Dunk had a header which he could have done a little bit better with. And they also had other chances as well. Danny Welbeck dragged a shot wide, and Solly March came quite close, just got the shot the wrong side of the post. So yeah, Brighton were definitely causing one or two problems, but I don't think, besides that fact that they were causing problems, I don't think Tottenham ever lost control of the game. Even though Brighton did start to dominate, I feel as though that sort of played into Tottenham's hands a bit. It allowed them to get back and defend, and the way they'd set up with the three centre midfielders. Okay, towards the end of the game, Bissouma was hooked, and they put an extra forward on just to cause problems on the break, and Kane came a bit deeper, and it just very much played into their hands, because they had a lot of smart players on the pitch. They brought on the right players at the right time. Conte is a manager who's very good at making substitutions, bringing on Ivan Perisic towards the end of the game, using his experience to hold on to the 3 points. And for 3 points away at Brighton is a very good result, because Brighton this season have been so far a top 6 side. You can't deny that. The performances they've been putting in have been very, 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 very good. But I still feel that this felt a bit like a Brighton performance of maybe last season and the year before, where they played really well, created chances, but they just couldn't take advantage of them. They just missed far too many chances, and that continued in the second half. Welbeck had another decent chance, and they were playing all these little intricate passes around the Tottenham penalty area, but they weren't troubling Hugo Lloris enough, because I think with Tottenham, Hugo Lloris has been an excellent servant for them, and at times has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. If not the Premier League, then at times arguably world football. I think that might be a bit of a push for me. I don't think I've ever had him that high up. But I think right now he's probably, and I think Tottenham fans may agree with this, he's probably one of the weaker parts of their team. They've got a solid defence now, Tottenham. The back three, Romero, Dyer, Davis, all three very dependable players. And the midfield of Højbjerg and Bentancur has proven itself over the past 6 months or so to be a very solid midfield. They've obviously got a brilliant attack. That we've known that for years now. And I think Lloris, we saw it in the North London derby last week. He just, whilst he's still a very good shot stopper and can pull off an outstanding save, he can also produce a moment of madness where he spills something which he 100% shouldn't, and it allows the player to get a rebound or something like that. But they just didn't get enough shots on target, Brighton. They had enough of the ball to get shots off, but they just didn't do it. They brought on players like Matoba and Lallana, but even then it didn't change enough. They needed to have someone who was willing to get plenty of shots on target. Welbeck did that, but his accuracy of his shooting just wasn't good enough. But yeah, Tottenham, it was a very good performance defensively, and it's the type of game which will get you into the Champions League, winning these sorts of games, which I think is Tottenham's aim this season. It's just to maintain their position in the top 4. I think I can't really see them challenging for the title come the end of the season. I just don't think they're quite there yet. They do have the odd game where it's like this game, but the attacking team maybe gets an early goal and then Tottenham have to come out, and that creates spaces to get in behind. So I think there is a formula where you can cause Tottenham problems, but whatever that formula is, you have to start quickly, because if you don't put them under pressure early on or get an early goal, and then you're just waiting for Kane and Son to produce a bit of magic, get the goal, and then they can sit back and they're in control of the game. So yeah, the way to beat Tottenham is to put them under pressure, basically. And I think you could equally say the way to beat Brighton is to frustrate them, which is what Tottenham did tonight, and that is why they won the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.